he did left. He just ran off, and it's crazy. Why would you do that? We are in a new build, and what we have is we've got this an EV charger master plug, nice and easy, all being installed by the developer from the house, SWA cable. All the client wants is this charger to be moved closer to the house, and I'll show you what it is, and that supply that goes into the garage to be just repurposed for a hot tub. How crazy it is. Look at this. The guy, the electrician, the other Sparky, came here, put this in, a waterproof outside. They're not ideal, but maybe location of it. It's just all about the waterproofing and making sure that the little box here, just making sure the weatherproofing is pretty good on these things. But condensation, change of temperatures, that all of that plays a role. So you have to be very careful how you do that. But coming from the property, it will be absolutely difficult like crazy, because the fuse board is right in the middle of new property, all tiles, everything done. So no demolishing, no digging. This is the option. Client wants so simple like this: a new cable down across just to the edge of the property for the new charger. And he left. Why? Come on, man. Installing a hot tub and a new EV charger. Why would you just leave the job like this? Never mind. We're here, we're going to do it, and we're going to show you how we're doing it. Stay tuned. Take into account everything, because clients wants the charger to be as accessible as possible for all his amazing cars to be charged and driven, and all the easy. So just when you rock up to the site, observe what's happening. So we've got some recycling boxes, bin. So I suggested if we put the charger slightly higher than the bin is, that's just going to make it all nice and easy for the client. So first thing, what is important is to making sure the cable will look as invisible as humanly possible. These pipe, that's not where gas is going, that's just a plastic sheath for the actual gas pipe. Just a slight leverage on that hammer allow me to use the grout between the bricks as well as here. So when we're actually going to clip it, it will look nice into the fuse board, and that's it. Clipping it all the way to the edge of the property shouldn't be too difficult. And this is it. If you know master plug, if you know these chargers, please let me know. Do we need to put a CT clamp? Because I could not see a CT clamp anywhere. I'm yet to go to the client's fuse board to actually look at that and see if there is one installed there. So let's have a look. I'm not refusing any cup of coffee, and this one is particularly beautiful. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do with it. Yeah. I'm no George Clooney.
You ready?
But a good cup of coffee is a good cup of coffee.
Nice.
Lovely security screws. Let me show you what exactly security screws these are. So these are like Torx with a slight pin inside. So no one can go in, tamper with the equipment. How can I? We got Draper, Torx, and that's what this is. Put it in and open it up. Oh, how very convenient the gutter pipe is right in the way. Okay, what to do in a situation like this? Just release the clubs on the gutter pipe. That will allow you to bend it a little bit more, or just enough. Yeah, that screw is definitely damaged. I'll show you this one. There you go. Pretty knackered. Okie dokie. Lovely. What we're gonna do is we'll just put the screws back in here from the inside. We don't want to lose them. Tom, what I would like you to do is I will free the cable from the EV. This is the cable going out to the hot tub. This is just joining. Just the inline joint connection box right there. That cable with this one. Cool. Let's go. The previous Sparky already drilled the hole. He already determined how we're going to enter the box. We're just going to do the back entry on this fuse board. And the challenge we have is right on the line with the mortar. So we have to put quite a decent amount of silicone. Make sure there's no free dust here, just so it adheres and it will provide a good seal. That's over here, and that's just the bottom entry on this SWA, so that needs to come out in order for you to terminate this SWA into it. And this, the hot tub people wanted to have. The hot tub people wanted to have a 5 meters spare length. So just terminate this into a box with the gland. That's all they want. And they will put this inside the hot tub and terminate. And Tom has opportunities today to show off his SWA skills. Don't you, Tom?
Yeah.
He's amazing. Okay, back to this charger. Have a look how different this is. Everything is actually on the front bit of the charger, and the back is just the shell casing. So what we're going to do is we need to actually undo the termination. And that's your EV charger, nice and free. Well, actually, that's a good point now to mark which cables are which, because whoever been here did not really care much for the markings of these. So this actually pulls out. Pretty cool. So gray is neutral, as we can see, N. We're going to put the right marking cables for it. If the armor is earthed on the other side, it will have a continuity on the earth to the armoring. So, continuity, closing the circuit, metal sheath, nothing. Rubbish. That means whoever installed this hasn't done a good job. And that would be a developer. Cannot tell you where we are now, because that will be slugging off. Developer, Sparky, subcontractor, whoever the person's here, been here, proving themselves how great they are. On 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Happy days, still level. Definitely no, we have enough. We're going to go on the other side firstly, because I don't want to pull a lot of cable through this gap and just scrape the cable, because that is quite tight. I am going to connect it into a fuse board, see how much room we've got, and just do it from here, clip the cable, and we know how much we need to cut by the fuse board. It's a good time to spy on Tom and see how he gets on. Nice. We're gonna put a nice squirt of silicone in there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. NSWA. So this is it. Tom, can you bend the cable as it's going to go into the box? And that's the point. This is still very important, because the steel armoring, when it's in a 90-degree bend, those inside armors, they're actually going to go misplaced. So if you were to strip the cable when it's nice and straight and then bent, the actual armoring will be far off the position. So my advice would be clip it here, so we have that 90-degree already pre-stressed, and then make off the cable, because that will allow us to make sure that the armored is nice and flat 90-degree in compared to the actual box. It's been just about 2 hours now. This is now time for a coffee. Couldn't tell you how happy I am, because you may know I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. So here we go. I think that's really good. Oh, this electrician's work. Some other people are leaving jobs, not showing up. Crazy. Oh, nice. How would you leave that hospitality? That. Wow. I'm going to go for the yellow. Magda, please don't watch this episode. This is diet, apparently. We have the charger put in place. The cable all tucked in nicely, clipped all the way to the fuse board. We haven't energized it yet. Just checking for what else do we have in here. Internet connection. There are some other sockets in here. Not much to play around with. I think that's the CT. It's got some module, so I think that CT there is actually the CT clamp for this, and it works off of the kind of like a Wi-Fi module, which is cool. We're not going to put it just yet, because I want to do some testing on it, like a insulation resistance test, R1, R2 testing, ZS test on the adjuster supply, fill the cert, and do all that. Once I'm happy with it, then I'm going to put this on. So let's go and do some testing. We've got a fuse board already completed, all done and tested. So that's the earth coming into the MET, it's TNCS earthing. We've got the main earth coming to the property, and now from Main supply into the isolation switch. Then isolation is isolating those two Henley blocks. The bottom is going down. Also the second one from the bottom is going up into the property. Should you isolate this, you will isolate the whole supply to the whole property. Now it's time to go and carry out the live testing here. I've got RCD already taken from the fuse board, so we are after a ZS test. Earth, neutral, live. Trust me, I can see it. 0.15.
A few moments later.
0.37. Okay, cool. So testing is done. What we now need to do is just hook up the charger and functional test. Okay. Okay, what we're gonna do now is carry out the testing. Down, 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 down. Do do do. RCD EV. Neutral, earth, L1, 32 amps. Happy days, the sun is still shining, the old new EV charger is installed, cable all clipped nicely under, we've got supply just here, and happy charging!